Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We are doing a new series on here where we do all things DIY for our wedding coming up in 2025. So first off, we're going to be starting with a DIY fluted pillar pedestal, which I plan to use as a cake stand for our engagement party. So we just went to Lowe's and picked up all of our supplies, and I will link everything in the description box down below so you can pick the same items that we're using in this video. So you're going to want to get a concrete form. We got the smallest size, an 8-inch, and you're also going to need a bunch of these full round dowels and a birch tabletop to put on top of the cake stand. Now we're just measuring out how far we want to cut. I would say we cut a little bit under a foot just so it's not so tall, and then using this little electric hand saw, we're just going to cut through the cardboard. It's fairly easy to cut through. It's just a really thick piece of cardboard, and you're making sure you can cut it as even as possible. Now we are just marking each of the wooden dowels for the same height that we cut the pillars. So we are just doing that individually. We're just lining them up and using a Sharpie to kind of guide us on where we're going to cut using an electric handsaw. Once we had all of the dowels cut to our desired height, we went ahead and started gluing them on. Now we did start off with this all-purpose glue, but we didn't like it. It came off really watery and the dowels took a long time to dry. So it did apply very evenly, but we just didn't like the finish of it. So we did go ahead and switch over to liquid nails, which worked so much better. But basically you would just lay each piece one by one and glue it down one by one, and this process did take us a few weeks with a few breaks in between. So this is very time consuming and a little bit tedious, but we did get there eventually and it turned out super nice. So we just had to have a lot of patience. Once we reached the very end, we went ahead and went one by one to kind of shave off and saw off all of the remainder or excess wooden dowels. This also was very tedious, so props to Johnny. He did such a great job. He was super patient with me, and once we got all of that kind of smoothed out and leveled out, we went ahead and put a thick layer of liquid nails. Once you got that layer of liquid nails on top, we went ahead and kind of just eyeballed it so we can lay down the tabletop on top, and you're going to want to put something heavy on it while it dries. We just put 2 bricks and we let it dry overnight. Next up, we are going to be starting off with our floral installation. So I am just going to be working on the base, and I got these off of Amazon. They have so many different shapes. They have a heart, circle, a rectangle, an arch, but I really liked the open arch concept, so I went with those. This was a fairly easy process to assemble. All of the metal pieces fit nice and snug into one another. You're just going to want to layer them on top and then screw it in, and you're just going to build it all the way until you run out of pieces. Once the base is complete, I'm going to go ahead and take a pool noodle that I got from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to use this to secure on to the form so we can go ahead and start attaching our florals later on. This is fairly simple. I just cut a slit through the noodle and then fit it through the poles, and you can do chicken wire with this as well, but I just decided that it was just a little bit more cheaper. I used about 3 noodles in total, and I am just going to cut off the excess at the very top so that way it's the exact height that I need. Now on to my favorite and the fun part is going to be attaching all of the greenery and the florals. Believe it or not, I got all of the flowers from the Dollar Tree. I've just been collecting over the past couple of weeks, and I did order all of the greenery off of Amazon, so I'll go ahead and link that for you down below. Starting off with the faux Italian ruckus, I am going to be using this to fill out majority of the form, and as you can see, I'm going to be placing it parallel to the pool noodle so it sticks up and it makes a nice shape. I do recommend going in with some pliers or wire cutters to kind of trim down the stems so they're not too long. So I had pre-done that to all of my stems before I went ahead and started applying it to the pool noodles. So that is just one of my recommendations. It's a little bit faster and easier to work with. Now you're going to keep repeating this process until you get the desired fullness. I liked my floral installation to be very full, so it does take a while. I did about 5 or 6 packs of these Italian rectus because I wanted it to be really full, and the shape turned out so beautiful. I am obsessed. Now we're going to go in with the floral. So I did opt to start off with white, and I just kind of spread it and kind of made sure I filled in all of the gaps that were kind of still exposed while using the greenery, because you could still see the bright neon pool noodle peeking through. So I just kind of wanted it to make sure that was hidden, and I was really torn because I really wanted to use the colored flowers, and then when I put all the white flowers on, it looked really bridal and I was very conflicted. I kind of just wanted to end it there, but I went back and forth and I decided to go with color because it's summertime, and even though I'm a neutral girly through and through, I really wanted the party to be colorful. So this is beautiful on its own. I love it, but we are going to go ahead and add in all of the extra colored flowers that I had purchased. I may or may not have gone a little bit overboard when buying these flowers. I was just so excited and I just picked all the pretty ones, and I wanted colors that went well together, so I did a lot of pinks, and then I wanted to have some pops of fuchsia pink and purple. I just wanted it to look as natural and realistic as possible, so I just kind of went ham. There was no rhyme or reason where I was putting flowers. I just wanted to make sure everything was covered, and I just kind of went crazy. So I think the more flowers that you put and add, it adds more contrast, it's more interesting, and you just go have fun. At this point, I was just starting to see the vision coming together. The whole process really reminded me of decorating a Christmas tree. For this project, I just wanted to go all out, so when I thought I was done adding flowers, I just kept adding more. A moment for the back. So I would recommend, if you're going to do this, do it against a wall where you can't see, but I want to show you guys I did have to reinforce the pool noodles with some zip ties, because after sticking in all of the floral stems, it did kind of start to burst open a bit. So I just went ahead and zip tied all the way down, just so it is more secure and it will not fall off of the form. And here is the final product. I don't know about you guys, but I think I am starting to like color a little bit more. This is so summer vibes. I love it so much. It turned out so much better than I thought. And here it is with the finished cake stand as well. I love it. This would be a really good ceremony piece if you were to do a small backyard wedding. I just love how everything just came together so nicely, and it was relatively easy. This is where I plan to have the backdrop for a majority of the pictures for the party, so I definitely wanted something different and unique. And to finish it off, my cousin custom made this cake for us, and it is literally perfection.